here we go with shoulder rolls, elbows, bigger arms, wider stance, get a little bend in the knees, open and close, round and squeeze. And then come on down. Let's roll through cat, inhale through cow, roll through your cat, and inhale through your cow. One more time, cat and cow. And then big deep breath in. You want to have your book handy. We're going to use it just for our warm up here. So you're going to step up with your right foot, up with your left, and then we'll pick up that pace. Little pump of the arms. Maybe. Adding on to this, you're going to step up with a knee lift. And then you're going to turn that into a hamstring curl and give it a squeeze with the upper back. And then we'll take that into leg extension with upper back, arm extension. And then back to just the tap up, running arms again. Knee lift for 4. Hamstring curl with a squeeze for 4. And then leg extension. And now we cut that in half, so we're back to 2 taps, 2 knees, 2 curls, and 2 extensions. And then one of each, 1 tap, 1 knee, 1 curl, 1 extension, and bring it down. Walk it to the other side, and we'll just start with those tap ups. Turn that into a knee lift. And then a hamstring curl with a squeeze. That's 2. And then extensions, arms and legs. And back to our tap ups, just 4. Knee lift for 4. Hamstring curl 4. And extension for 4. And back to our tap ups, just 2. 2 knees, 2 curls, 2 extensions, and 1 of each thing. And up and over you go, back to the first side. We're going to come up and down, little taps. And then we're going to come up, we're going to stay up. And we're going to tap down and up, down and up. Quick little movements, down and up, down and up. And then we're going to turn that into the knee lift, down and up, down and up. So the 1 foot stays on there, hamstring curl, leg extension, 2 tap ups, 2 knees, 2 curls, 2 extensions, 1 of each, 1 tap, 1 knee, 1 curl, 1 extension, woo! Couple of tap ups, give us a moment on the other leg, sorry. So make sure you switch legs. All right, and then that foot stays up there, and we double time that lift and knees and curls and extension, 2 of each, 2 taps, 2 knees, 2 curls, 2 extensions, 1 of each, 1 tap, 1 knee, 1 curl, 1 extension, woo! Woo! All right, give it just a little, march it out, straddle your book, shoulders out of your ears, big deep breath in, exhale, pull it back and down, bend those knees. This time we'll drop the right shoulder in, look up over the left, press the right leg open, back to center, other way. First direction and second. Big deep breath in. Since I don't have a cat on the chair at the moment, we're going to use that for our tricep push-ups. So you want to hinge your body, so you're in a high plank, hands are facing each other. Pull the belly button in, so give me like a little bit of a tuck of that tailbone. Elbows bend backwards and straighten. And relax, bend those knees, let that left elbow come across your chair, swing the right arm, and then bend into that left knee, open the right arm up. Gently bring that down, right arm comes across, knees are bent, left arm swings. Bend the right knee, straighten the left arm and the left leg. Bring that back, give yourself sort of a little supported cat-cow with the chair here. And then bring that up. We're gonna do our calf work before we, oh, I don't have to hold on to that today because I have a chair. We're gonna do our calf work before we get into those quads. So you're coming up on that book with the toes of the right foot, ball of the foot, maybe about half of the arch, so that you can drop the heel off the back. Left leg is hanging out in space. And then bring that right leg so the foot is even with the book. Drop it down, bring it even. Drop it down, even, down, even, down, even. Last time, even with the book, and then go above the book, even with the book, above it and even, above and even, above and even. One more like that, above, even. Now I'm going to drop the heel all the way down, come through center, and go all the way up. All the way down, come through center, all the way up. Keep that going. Hopefully that right calf is really feeling these. Last time, bring it up, hold, 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 grow as tall as you can. And then put your left foot down on the ground. Slide your right toes back so that you can drop the right heel for a beautiful stretch now. Left foot is beside the book. Bend that right knee to take that a little deeper. And then step on your left foot, turn your right toes out, heel in, but make sure the hips stay forward. Drop that right heel, bend that knee. And then finally, right toes turn in, drop the heel, and bend the knee. We get to do the other side. So left foot is up on your book. Again, at least the front half of your arch. Right leg hangs out in place. drop the heel below the book, and then come even with the book, below it and even, below and even. Good, and then we'll go even with the book, above the book, even and above, even and above, even and above, even and above, one more, even and above, all the way down through center, all the way up. Two more. Ooh, hold it up, press higher and higher and higher. Ooh, right foot drops down, left foot slides back so you can drop that heel off the book and then bend the knee. Then you're gonna pivot the toes open and the heel in, drop that heel and bend the knee. And then turn the toe in, heel out, drop it and bend it. All right, now we'll get into some quad work. So we're gonna start with that book in center. We're gonna put the right foot up on it, and then a nice wide stance with your left leg. Knees are bent, and we're going into a little plie squat. You choose kind of which one it actually works for you. Make sure the toes are turned out. If you want to, roll up on those left toes when you come up. If you want to, add a little arm movement. Almost there. On this last one, I want you to stay down, drop as far as you can, drop the heel, lift the heel, drop the heel, lift the heel, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, left heel only, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then with the toe up on your tippy toes with the heel lifted, give me a small pulse, pulse, pulse. And lift that up. Woo! It should have been a bit of a quad burner, I hope. So now we step up on that book with the left foot, toes are turned out. Find your good stance first, lift and lower. When you're ready, if you want, you can add lifting that right heel. You can add arms if you want. Last one, bring it down, hold it here, lift the heel, drop, 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 drop. Lift the heel, stay, drop a little deeper, up and down, tiny little movement. Try not to bounce, make it a pulse up and down, but not bouncing too much. And bring that up. Woo! Quadricep love, I do believe. All right, we are going back to that first side. So again, that right foot is up on the book. Left leg is wide, wide, wide. Toes are turned out. And again, we're going to sit into it just like we did before, but this time we're going to roll up on those left toes. Right toes, sorry, the ones on the book. Thank you, Nutmeg. Hey, I'm still here. There's a giant cat on the screen. Two more. Stay down. Keep that right heel lifted. Give me a little pulse. And bring it up. All right. Head on over to the other side. Hang on one second. She doesn't get to play with a rubber band. I'm sorry. You can play with all those though. Okay. So again, left toes are up on the book this time. Wide stance, up and down you go. Adding that lift with the left heel. Sometimes I see y'all's dogs jump through the screen. Two more. Good. Stay down on this one. That heel is raised. Little pulse. And beautiful. Bring that up. Woo, we're gonna give some quad love. So right leg forward, left leg back. Tuck the hip under, bend that left knee so you feel that stretch starting to come down that whole quad. Left arm up. Reach over and back if you'd like. And then bring that up. Left leg forward, right leg back. Tuck, bend the knee. Arm up and over and behind if you'd like. And back to center, and we have another round, but this time we're going to do our tricep dips from the chair. So you want to scoot to the front of that chair. Hands are also toward the front of the chair. Knees can stay bent for now, then you can decide later. And all you want to do is slip off the front. You don't want to lift your hips and go out front. You just want to go down and press up. If you want more challenge, you keep scooting your feet away, but the hips don't move away. And bring it up. We'll give those triceps some love. So left arm taps your left shoulder. Bring that left hand to the center of your back. And then over to your opposite shoulder. Shake that out. Right hand, right shoulder. Give it a pull back. And center. And then over to the other side. And shake that out. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Okay. We're going to do one more round for those lucky quads. So once again, our right foot is going to be up on the book, but this time we are bending that knee forward as we stretch those left toes forward. And again, arms if you want. So as we bend into that right knee, we draw lower, you can stretch that left leg out. And then we'll do the same thing, but we'll be reaching to the side. Booty can go back. And again, you can add arms if you want. Two more. And then that foot's going to go behind you. You want to engage that left quadricep to keep the leg fairly straight as you reach back. Try not to tip forward like that. Try and keep your chest open. And then this is the one that if you want a little more resistance, you can lift one arm or both arms forward as your leg goes back. Just two more. Hold this one back, hands onto your hip, glide onto that back toe so you're barely tapping the ground. Come up an inch, back, up an inch, tap, up an inch, tap, up an inch, tap. That right quad, or excuse me, right glute should be two more. And relax. All right, we're going to stretch that right glute by bringing it across your chair. You can bring it across your leg and then hinge, tailbone up. Roll through, and then extend it out again. And then same thing, other side. So left foot is up on your book. We bend into that knee to stretch the right leg forward, arms if you want. And then same thing to the side. And then finally, we're going to step back. We're going to straighten out that right leg. And we reach back, tapping the toe. And again, this is where you can lift your arms as your leg goes back if you want. Reach back, sink a little deeper, roll onto just the big toe. And then from here, tiny movement. And bring that up. Ooh, left hip, we're gonna stretch. Bringing that knee across your chair, bend the right knee, stick that tailbone out behind you. Get a beautiful stretch. And then roll it under and reach it out. And then we'll bring that up. All right, just scoot your chair back a little bit. We're gonna use it for a couple minutes as we come down onto the ground. You may, because you're gonna be on your knees, you may wanna double your mat up a little bit, if that's helpful for your knees. All right, so we're gonna bring that book behind our right leg. And then we're gonna engage those hamstrings by bringing that heel very close to your hip. And your arms can just rest here in the chair. You're not gonna sink your belly like that, but you're not gonna be booty back. You're trying to kind of get a straight line from your shoulders to your hips. And then holding onto that book, whether your toes are pointed or your heel is flexed, doesn't really matter to me. Just lifting and lowering that left knee. Keep hold of that book. That will keep your hamstrings engaged. Pull those abs in so the back isn't sagging. Flow. 2 more. And relax. All right, let's just get that other side. So book comes behind your left knee. You bring that heel nice and close to your hip. And then again, you can choose pointed or flexed. Abs in. Tailbone long. And relax. All right, you're just gonna sit on that book for 1 second. Spin around, left knee is bent, right leg is out with a little bend in it. Sit tall, hinge forward toward that right leg, flex your toes back, little hamstring stretch, but try not to tuck and round. That's why we're up on the book, so that we can extend that spine. And then we'll sit up again. Right knee comes in, left leg off to the side with a little bend. You're up on that book to give yourself a little extra space so that you can hinge without rounding and tucking. Flex those toes back. And bring that up. Okay, a little more booty work, but from the other direction. So go ahead and you can move your mat back out if you folded it up. And you won't need your chair. So we're gonna put the book out in front a little bit. And our heels are gonna be on the book, and you can see my heels aren't way back here, they're out in front, right? So I have a slightly different bend in the knee than I normally would when I do a bridge, right? It's a little more open angle, toes are pointing to the sky, there's a 90-degree angle in my ankles, hands by your side. Abs in, ribs down, head in line, lift up, and we should feel that quite a bit more in the hamstrings than usual. Hover the hands if that's okay with you, and then lift the hips a quarter of an inch, lift an inch, a quarter of an inch, whatever, some measurement. And again, we should be feeling this more in our hammies this time. Hold and relax. Stretch those legs out, let them be on the book for just a second. It's actually a little bit of a passive movement here. Then bring that right knee into your chest. And now we're kind of getting stretch in the opposite directions. Right knee comes in, tailbone might roll under, and then press that tailbone long. And then let the right leg drape over the leg. Bring your left knee into your chest. And as you pull that in, maybe you feel a little hip flexor stretch on the front of the right leg and hamstring on the left. And relax. You can just use your feet, hopefully, to drag that book back to you. And let's just start with our simple ab prep here. So hands underneath the book, ankles and knees touching, deep breath in, exhale, sink the ribs down as you lift yourself up. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, exhale, back down again. Deep breath in to prepare. Thank you for coming back. Exhale, stretch and reach overhead. And back to center. Lift it up, stretch and reach. You don't even have to lift your head, you know, if your neck is bothering you, if you maybe have some cervical spine issues, you can just lift that arm overhead to get the work. 2 more like that. Last one, arms overhead. If your head is lifted, that's fine. If it's down, that's okay. All you're going to do is move the arms down a quarter of an inch, down a quarter of an inch, little movement, little movement. But as you do that, nothing changes here. Ribs stay down, even though arms are reaching. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now the book goes into just your left hand, right hand across your rib cage. Deep breath in, exhale, pull those suckers down. Be really aware of the right or the left rib cage as you bring your arm overhead, up and over, and then above your shoulder. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to add on, arm comes overhead, bend the elbow, straighten it, come up and over, bend, straighten and up. And then we just leave the arm overhead, we bend and straighten, 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 and relax. Book can just go by your side, fingers face your shoulder, press back, get that tricep stretch. You can play with how close you want your hand to you or how far away, changing that stretch up a little bit. And then book in your right hand. Left hand goes across the rib cage, close those ribs down, keep them closed as the arm comes overhead. And then we'll add that bend and straighten and up and over, bend, straighten and up. And then up and over, and we bend and straighten and bend and straighten. And relax. And again, turn your fingers toward your head, press that wrist down, get that stretch in your tricep. And then we're gonna bring that book so that it rests on our ribs and our low abs, and we'll sink them in. And then we'll stack those knees up for our toe touch. Single leg, pointed toe, or single leg heel flex, or double leg lower, toe touch, or heel flex. And if you want, spin those knees apart, toes apart, heels together, Pilates V. Take a break. You can always come back to that one if you don't like the next one, because the next one we are going to have that book between our knees and shins. And so it's both double leg and extra weight. Remember, this is all about keeping stability in the core. As your legs move away, right, we keep those abs in, those ribs in, that low back stays the same distance from the ground. And we take a break. Ooh, put that book on your shins, and that should give you a little extra low back stretch, maybe a little rock side to side. And then that book goes on your right hand, left foot on the ground, right knee over top, give it a little cross, let them drop. Quick little twist here. And then back up through center, uncross, left goes over right, book goes to the left, knees drop right. And back through center. And then we're going to put that book back between our knees and our shins. Keep our toes where we can see them, and we're side to side. And relax. All right, let's roll over onto one side. Bring that book with you, stack your knees up, and the book goes on that top leg. Arm is underneath your ear, lift that waistline, so create your mouse house, pivot your toes apart, heels are together, and then we're going to lift that leg as we push the book onto that top leg. So just a little weighted clam here. And then we'll lift the heels in the air, waistline is still lifted, and we press open from there. And relax. Give that hip a little bit of love. And then we're staying on that same side. We're going to put that book down where our feet would be for our side plank, or side of your thighs. Bottom foot on first, and then the top leg can either crisscross or go stacked up. Before you move, protect your shoulder, push it back, lift up out of it, engage those lats, extra cushioning if you want, and then bring it up. Remember, you have to keep those hips a little extra high because your feet are higher. And gently bring that down, and we'll switch to the other side. We'll start with that clam again. Arm underneath your ear, knees are stacked. They're right out in front of your hips. Waistline is lifted with that mouse house. Top hand presses the book into your top leg, toes pivot open, and we open in your clam. And then knees down, heels in the air, pivot open. And we'll take a break for a moment. And staying on that same side, move your book down toward the bottom of your mat. Double up if you want some extra for your elbow. If you're crisscrossing, bottom foot is behind, press the shoulder, lift up out of it, engage, and lift up as you're ready. And gently down, and let's pivot over onto our abs. Book is going to come out front off of the mat. And as always, when you lie down, you want long, straight legs, kneecaps lifted so the quads are engaged, toes pushing into the ground, and pubic bone pressing into the ground, but belly button lifted. Arms out front on top of the book. Bring your head in between your biceps. Deep breath in. Exhale, press down on the book to lift. Press into your pubic bone and your toes. And then drag the book back by using those shoulder blade muscles. Exhale down, deep breath in. Exhale, press to lift. Inhale, drag it back, and keep that going. One, hold it up, and see if you could just drag the book forward and back, just engaging those shoulders. And relax. We can use that book to create a little extra space as you sit back in your shell stretch, hips sitting back on your heels. If you want, have that book there for a little extra space. And then as you come forward, leave the book back there for our forward plank. Walk yourself forward, hands apart, shoulders broad, lift up, pre-plank. You can always go onto the fronts of your thighs, but if you have that book there, let's tuck those toes and press up in a full plank. and relax. Come on back, and we'll undulate forward back, cat-cow. And we'll flip all the way over onto the spine. Bring your book with you and bring it behind your right leg for me, please. Have the corner of the book pressing against your calf and your hamstring, so not right behind the knee. And then maybe press on the shin a little bit, get just a little bit of feedback. Maybe circle that knee. And then you are going to slide that book up toward the back of your knee, not all the way against the ligaments. Use your hands to push that knee into your right shoulder and flex through the right heel. Maybe get some movement through that ankle. You always have the option to try to put the book on the foot. And then stretch that leg up, but you're going to bring the book behind the hamstring, flex through that right heel, slide the left leg out, press the book against the hamstring, hamstring against the book, hands resist. And then maybe see if it'll come a little closer. Then that book is going to go over to the right side, point your right toes, draw me a big circle each way, and lower that leg. Should feel nice and open. Let's let's do the rest. Right ankle crosses that left thigh. Thread your needle either by grabbing the left hamstring or maybe the left shin. Pull in, up and over to your left if that would feel good. Then pull that right knee all the way across the left. Tuck and pull. And then if you'd like, bring your right hand underneath the book. Help keep that right shoulder down as your knees pivot left. And then back up through center we go. We're going to bring that book behind the left knee, pressing into the calf and the hamstring. Maybe doing some circles. And then press the book down against your hamstring, flex with the heel, movement through that leg. Again, you have the option, if your arms are long enough, to hold that book on the foot. And then it comes to the hamstring, flex through the heel, slide the right leg out, flex and press, hands against book, book against hamstring, everything pressing, holding. Relax that, arm to the left, big circle, both ways, and leg down. Right ankle or left ankle crosses that right thigh, thread your needle. Moving those elbows in and to the right will deepen that stretch. And then you can bring that knee all the way across and up and over you go. If you want, slide your hand under that left book and knees drop right. And then you can roll onto your right side or flip over, whatever makes sense for you. We'll be on our hands and knees. And roll through your cat-cow. And then tuck your toes. We're going to just press those hips up in the air, pedal out. And then wide stance. Walk back to nod yes and shake no. Roll through cat. Inhale through cow. From that cow position, neutral spine, big deep breath in. Nutmeg and I thank you.